All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads, episode 562, 7th of December 2017. It's great to be heard by your ears. I'll tell you what, it's good to be alive. It's summer, the cricket's on, and we're smashing the palms, so it's all good. You can come and get some hosting from us at athwebhosting.com.au. That's Aussie Tech Heads web hosting, and the URL is athwebhosting.com.au. And you can also listen to us on the iTunes or any other podcatcher that is your favourite, and just download it and chuck it on and be amazed by the wonder of technology. All right, you can also listen to us and others on Aussie Tech Radio. If you get in your TuneIn radio app and you type in search for Aussie Tech Radio, you'll get there, back-to-back, 24/7 podcast. And if you got any comments or you want to tell us something, you can give it on the facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads or youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. So all that sound good? Great. Now on tonight's show, or this week's show, we've got the usual guys back again. We've got Jordan and Warlock. So let's go to Warlock. He's first in my click box. How you going, Warlock? Jace?
Good. Check this out, man.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Now, that's a picture of Jace's Fitbit Ionic screen that you have created.
Yep, I developed that clock face called Big Weather, and Fitbit contacted me and they said, hey, we really like that. Can we use that in our promotional material?
Oh.
I'm like, sure. So they did this. They created this from a screenshot that they did of my app running on one of their devices, and then
Nice.
Put it onto that. And then all their promotional material for the launch was check out Aussie Byte. That's my website. We mentioned that before. Aussie Byte's Big Weather app for Fitbit Ionic.
Nice.
And then suddenly hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people were downloading it and installing it onto their Ionic. So
excellent.
I've been getting emails from people, oh, wow, this is even better than anything that Fitbit did. I really love it. And then someone's like, oh, can you add a option so that I can enable seconds, so it'll have the seconds on there. So I'm working on that at the moment.
Oh, good stuff.
And, he also wants a little indicator of how much battery he's got left on there, so I'm going to work on that as well.
Fair enough. We'll just hold that there. We'll come back to that in 1 second. I'll just get Jordan on. How you doing, Jordan?
Oh, I'm good, mate.
That's good.
Check
Welcome
out
back.
my background as well.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
No, I bet you that was easy.
Beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
I bet you that was easy to code. That one.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
As
Now,
long as it doesn't fall down.
yes. Now, look. If you're not on the video, Jordan just has a black sheet.
I've got a
up.
couple of people standing behind the curtain. So
Yeah,
I've got to
just holding it up. He's
cut that down.
got some lackeys there. Doing the good.
They're
thing.
running the cables behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They
Now,
don't look that good.
yeah. So Jace, let's get back to your watch, and Jordan might have a couple of questions. I don't know about it, but yeah. So that's good. Yeah, congratulations. That's really good.
Yeah, I've got 3 published in their app gallery now. That one's called Big Weather. There's also Big Time, and a little game called Match Up, where it's a memory card game, if you remember those that you used to have on computers, where it lays out a bunch of cards upside down. You flip over one card, then you flip over another one. If they match, they stay faced up. If they don't, they turn back over, and then you have to click on another 2 and try and get all of them to turn over to complete the game.
So now it looks like you've got a picture. The background there is a picture of the ocean and a cliff. Now, you're not going to...
So that background changes depending on what the weather forecast is in your
cool.
area for the day.
Now, you're not going to get in trouble about pictures, are you? You got those all sorted, copyright-wise?
No, it's all public domain photos I got from a place called Pixabay. And, Pixabay.
Pixabay. I've heard of that.
They've got public domain pictures and photos and things, and clip art and stuff. And so, that's for, it's going to be a sunny day. It'll show that picture. If it's raining, there'll be raindrops on the screen, so it looks as though they're fallen onto your watch.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
If it's snowing, there's a picture of a snowman out on a field where there's snow everywhere and stuff like that. And if it's foggy day, then there's a road that goes off into the distance and fades away as the fog gets too much for it.
So,
and then,
I was just going to say, so with that app store, do you have to download it through the app store, or do you go to your page to download that, or how do they have any quality control over these?
The Fitbit app itself has the gallery in it. So when you click on your Fitbit Ionic icon in the app, it'll go to a page that says select a clock face or select an app. There's 2 sections. So the game that I did is under apps, and the clock faces are under clock face.
Yeah.
And those are all reviewed by Fitbit staff to make sure that there's good quality control. It doesn't crash, doesn't reset the device, doesn't have somebody with a finger sticking up like that or something weird on there. Or say you guys suck or something like that. So they've got quality control, whereas when it was Pebble, they just let you post anything. So you could put, like Melbourne Storm on there and steal their IP and then get paid for it or something. This one, you can't use anybody else's trademarks or IP or copyright stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, so there's Big Time, which has got big letters, big numbers for the time, and it's got little icons similar to this one that's got around the edges. This has got it at the bottom, and then it has a little icon in the center that's got a picture of a sun or clouds or rain coming out of a cloud and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. And so is there options there or future or availability there to make a pro version, get some coin out of these things?
Well, that one has got a 3-day trial, and after 3 days it'll expire, and then say, please go to the Kaisel Pay website and pay 99 cents.
Sweet.
Because I needed something because the weather API, after 1,000 hits a day, will start charging me money.
Oh, right.
And I found out yesterday they launched the app gallery, and then people were coming to me and they're like, the weather's not working anymore. What's going on? So I logged onto my free account and it was like, oh, I've already used up 1,000 hits. I guess that was a really popular clock face. So I had to give them my credit card so that they could start charging me because there were so many people had been downloading it. And the payment gateway that I used, Kaisel Pay, the guys said we had a limit on 50 connections a day for each clock face, and yours seems to have blitzed that. So our server had been blocking people from being able to get to the payment gateway and kept on coming up with an error on their watch. So they had to increase it by several hundred, and then they're like, holy crap, look at all the requests coming in for Jason's clock face.
That's cool. Yeah, good work. Good stuff.
I've also got another...
Do you enjoy making them, or is it a long process?
It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing development work. My main job, I do Perl programming and stuff like that. So this is just a fun thing to do on the side. I don't expect to make a ton of money out of it. If I can cover the amount of money it costs me to run the weather API, I'll be happy. But there's also another clock face I didn't mention called Elegance, which is currently in review, and it's an analog clock face, but it's got a black background and all of the hands and the icons are all in gold color, so it looks like it's really nice gold, and it's got the weather and the number of steps and all of that in there, and has the hands that spin around like a normal analog clock face.
So I'm just trying to look. I'm just trying to search for these things. So where do I search? Where do I go for it?
Do a search for Fitbit Ionic App Gallery.
App Gallery.
Yep.
Oh, hang on, let's go all.
Is that time consuming, no?
It can take a while, because there's a lot of programming when you're doing it, as I programmed for other devices like Palm OS back in the day and a bit of iPhone and Android. You get a little emulator or simulator that you can test on your actual computer, whereas this one doesn't have that. So you make any minor change, you have to send it through the Wi-Fi to your watch, hope that it doesn't crash on the watch, and then if everything's good, it looks okay. If not, you might get errors come up in the studio application, which is online, and then you have to make your changes and then send it to the watch again. And then, did that work? Okay, no, the time needs to go 4 pixels to the left. Okay, 4 pixels to the left. Does that? No, it needs to go 1 more to the right, 1 more to the right. So
it's like building websites.
A bit of trial and error with that one, but so long as you don't have anything major buggy that's going to crash it, it's all right.
It's not like you can bring up, what do they call it? The Google thing. What do they call it? Google. When you bring it up.
Yeah, the assistant.
What's the word for it?
Okay, Google.
No, the Google thing in your Google browser, and you click the button and it brings it up in your website in your browser, and you can adjust all the pixels and change the website around before you then change it.
Okay, yep.
You go back
in developer mode.
The Firebug?
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Inspect element, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think
element.
Yeah, I think you can get a inspect element and also the Firebug, which was I think maybe like an original extension to do pretty much the same thing. But
Yeah, we use
do that with the watch, can you, as well?
Monkey. We use Grease Monkey at work, but no, you can't do any of those with the watch because it's all handled with the way that the watch interprets what you're typing in. So
it'd be nice if you could just bring it up on the watch.
Yeah, so many people are like, wow,
pixels, and then go back to the computer and fix it. Yeah,
I ordered an Ionic. It's coming in 2 weeks, but I want to start programming now. What can I do? We're like, well, you can program it, but there's no way to test if it works.
No.
But yeah, the Fitbit guys have been really good. They were helping me with this, and then they sent me the email, said, oh, we like your elegance, clock face, a big weather. We'd like to promote those and put them first in the store and stuff like this.
That's awesome.
Like, wow, that's a really good honor. Yes, please.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's a pat on the back for sure, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you
feel good about your work,
Yeah,
it does.
You could lead that in and kick off some other apps for the little watch. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I got so many ideas.
Good stuff. We'll stay tuned. All right, let's get into some stories. And the first one that I can find is remember, I think it was last year or earlier this year, the EU decided that Apple had to pay Ireland $20 billion in unpaid taxes, and Ireland didn't want all this to happen. They're going, we're happy with Apple.
You didn't do it right, Glenn. $20 billion.
Oh, sorry, but is it million and then 2 for billion? Something like that?
No, just the one all the time.
Just the one.
I actually showed my daughter Austin Powers the other night, and I was like, nearly every Aussie tech heads I got to do this. That's great. Like, well, now I know what that's all about.
We're talking big numbers on this show. Don't you worry. That's why we're doing these ones every week. Now, so anyway, $20 billion they got to pay back. Dublin or Ireland didn't want this to happen because they were happy with Apple just, paying what they do. And, Apple lives in Ireland, or the transactional side of Apple, so everyone was happy. But the EU wasn't, and they obviously must get a cut out of it or something. So anyway, they've said, Apple, you got to pay Ireland $20 billion. Somehow that's probably going to end up in the EU. So more than a year after the EU order, Ireland's slow pace in recovering the money has landed it in court. Ireland is now seeking an investment manager and a custodian to operate the account and expects to appoint both next month. We expect the money will begin to be transmitted into the account from Apple across the first quarter of next year. And both Dublin and Apple have challenged the EU order. So it's not every day that, you see government saying, we don't want a company to pay us any more money. Like, it's a bit weird. But anyway, that's what's going on. Did I have a picture? No, I didn't have a picture for that one. So, any thoughts on that? It's pretty straightforward. Any thoughts? Any comments?
They don't want companies to pay a lot of money or tax, except for, you see that new bill that the US was trying to rush through recently, and they had a lot of the changes were handwritten and scribbled down in the margin.
No.
And it turns out that one of the things that they pushed through was going to end up with an extra $300 billion tax increase for big business that they didn't actually mean to put in the bill. So they're like, no!
Oh, no way. Oops. Yeah, well, that's right. You got to read the squiggles, haven't you? These things just obviously get rushed through just too fast, don't they?
Well, they're trying to do it. So they had a 495-page document that people were given 2 hours before they had to vote on it. Yeah. They're like, I can't even read the handwriting that you've scribbled in the margin, and we're supposed to vote on this in 2 hours. Even without that, if it was nicely typed up, I still couldn't read it and understand it fully in 2 hours. And it's going to affect the tax of all the companies and every American from now on if you push this through. And they're like, yeah, don't worry. We know what we're talking about. We're for everybody. It's going to be great. But it's like, you're going to love it. It's brilliant. You're going to love it. I've talked to a lot of people. They said they love it. They know what I'm talking about. It's great.
Yeah, as long as they know what they're talking about, that's all that matters. Yep. We put a lot of trust in these guys, don't we? Now,
sure.
Now, look, I think this next one, I think most of us probably got this story, so this is probably a good one to have a chat about. Amazon. Have any of you guys bought anything yet from Amazon Australia?
No.
Or what do we? Have you heard of
the prices aren't all that enticing. There's so many articles about how the pricing is either exactly the same as what you get from like Harvey Norman, Kogan and stuff, or it's actually $100 to $300 more. And what they're pointing out also is most of the stuff that's advertised is not actually from Amazon. It's from third-party marketplace people.
Have you had a look at it, Jordan?
No, but I have heard people say that some things are more expensive than Harvey Norman and things like that. But that must be just people repeating what they've heard on the news, I suppose.
Well, yeah. So I thought I didn't sort of.
But Amazon's one of the biggest in the world, isn't it? It's supposed to be fantastic. I've never even bought from the US one, so
no. Well, I don't think you really
from over there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought the day after it opened, I thought, I'll go and have a look, see what's going on. So I went in.
Here we go.
I had a look. Had a look in there. I typed in. First thing I typed in, Sonos speaker. Come up 700, and I went, I can buy that $50 cheaper at JB Hi-Fi. So I went, great. The first search I did was $50 more expensive. I just turned it off. I said, I'm over it already. I'm over it.
There's so much hype about it, isn't there? And it's just not. But it's new, isn't it? So
yeah, but I guess
it'll change.
But it's new. But it's new to Australia. It's not new to the world. You know what I mean? So you think they'd have?
Yeah, I don't think
they'd have to fine tune it a little bit per country, wouldn't they?
I don't think they've rolled out their distribution centre fully in Australia. That's why they're relying on the third-party marketing guys who are selling through the Amazon marketplace to ship things, because they've already got their own ways of getting things out to people. And then once Amazon's really ready to launch 100% their own stuff, then we'll see that.
So 20 product categories, including books, video games, consumer electronics, sports and outdoors, tools, toys, home improvement, beauty, clothing, accessories, shoes, and Amazon's Kindle, e-readers, and Fire TV sticks. The stores already have a large range of IT and electronics on sale from some of the largest vendors in the channel, including Acer, Asus, HP, Huawei, Intel, and Microsoft. So they'll also offer free delivery to customers that purchase its own. Amazon will offer free delivery to customers that purchase its own devices on orders above $49. I don't really understand that.
I think if you buy a few Fire sticks or Fire TV things and Kindles,
okay, that's what.
Yeah, you get free delivery.
So it's only on there.
Amazon's making it themselves. They don't need to make a huge profit on it. They make all the money for those through selling the books and games and stuff on them, so they can afford to sell them at a loss. Whereas somebody like Apple and that will need to make the money on the hardware as well.
So Amazon Australia orders will be fulfilled out of the centre in Dandenong South in Victoria. Amazon.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes from me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mexico.
Can I save on postage if I pick it up?
You might be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So Amazon said it already has more than 1,000 employees in Australia across its offices in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Australia, and Canberra.
It's creating work.
Yeah, that's right. That's the upside of it all, isn't it? But
what about? I think it's next day delivery, isn't it?
On some items, they say, yeah, it can be. Depends where you are.
Next day, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another. I've been hearing advertised on the radio or on the TV. This Shipster from Australia Post. Now that's I'm not sure if Amazon's included in that actually, but this Shipster, I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, and it's all about like for $6.95 a month that you pay Australia Post, you get free shipping on items that you buy from a good handful of stores like Kogan and Myers or DJs. If you buy a lot of stuff online, well, yeah, the $7 a month and then the rest free. Yeah, be good, wouldn't it? Now, did someone else here have Amazon story, or have we covered it with that?
How did you know?
Oh, you looked at the show
You
notes.
must be psychic, man.
There must be all those beeps you heard when you were introing the show.
That's right, yes.
Someone was sending you messages. I did have a quick one.
Yeah.
Google will drop YouTube from the Amazon Fire TV Echo. Sorry, Fire TV and Echo. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
The Echo show on January 1st.
The Echo Show is their camera device that sits in your bedroom and can film what clothes you're wearing. It sends it to a fashion expert who'll say, you tried 2 different outfits, and he'll say, yeah, use this one for this particular thing or whatever.
Very, very popular with Airbnb.
Right, okay. I don't know a lot about the Amazon Fire TV and those things, but I just thought it was interesting that they would pull YouTube from a device like that, considering, people who have these media devices want YouTube on their televisions, don't they? Pretty much.
So who's going to be bringing out a competitor to the Amazon show and the Fire TV, even bigger stuff?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to look at that there and say.
You asking me for an answer?
No, it was supposed to be rhetorical.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So the Google-owned video service is cutting access to Amazon devices on the 1st of January. The Google spokeswoman said on Tuesday, YouTube is also cutting access Tuesday for a second time to Amazon's Echo Show device.
So why is that? Is that to try to squeeze them out?
The move signals that an ongoing battle between the world's biggest search engine and the world's largest online retailer may get messier in 2018. Yep. So they're obviously fighting over something and playing hardball.
But do you think that it's probably because because YouTube's obviously the most popular watched video platform on the planet. So if they pull that app or that functionality from the Fire and this Echo Show business, well then that might
sales for the Chromecast will go up, and they'll have some other device even better than the Chromecast coming soon. It's
absolutely
going to plug into your TV. It'll have the full YouTube, plus it'll do
their phone that they were releasing.
Yeah. So
the phone they were talking about.
Yeah, so it's all happening. They love wars, don't they? These big companies.
They certainly do.
Amazon.
I remember a couple of years ago for
I would never have found Aussie Tech Heads if I didn't have YouTube.
Yeah, Windows Phone didn't have YouTube for ages, so the guys Microsoft reverse engineered how YouTube works on other platforms and then released it, and then Google blocked Microsoft devices from their store because they said that's not how we want it programmed. And so they said, well, Google, can you program it? They said no.
Right. Nice. But yeah, there's always these wars going on, isn't there? Samsung, Apple, now this one. So it's all
that's going to be great. It is going to be great for the other devices, isn't it? Like they say, even for Apple, for any of them who've got YouTube, all those other little TV devices.
Yeah. Look, I really like my Chromecast. I think I haven't got the latest Apple TV. I've got the Apple TV 3, I think. Is that right? The last of the
I don't have any
little pups, and I'm considering taking them out because I've got Chromecast in the TVs, and the Chromecast works so much better. And
it's just casting, isn't it? The Chromecast. I've never used one of them either.
Yeah, well,
it's just casting. I think I had a computer under my telly with Windows Media Center for years before I actually discovered the Raspberry Pi 3. And it's great for me, but I've never used to cast. It is just casting, isn't it?
Yeah, so like what it's for is say like
so you've got to have your mobile phone or something too.
Yeah, I can get something on my mobile phone. Say I'm just sitting there,
or your laptop.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there of a night time. That's where I watched. I was on Facebook a month ago, and all of a sudden I see the Paul Gallen fight. It was streamed live to Facebook, and so I went cool. So I flicked it on the phone and then just casted it to the TV, and there you go. And the thing that I liked about the Chromecast over the Apple TV, and I think this is a really big deal for me anyway, is that, see, when you're going through the Apple TV, and I might be wrong with the latest version of the Apple TV, but I don't think I am, but when you go through the Apple TV, it's streaming through your phone, and it remains through your phone. So then if your phone goes flat, well, you lose what you're watching. But when you Chromecast it...
Yeah, that's because it's mirroring what's on your Apple device. It's not actually casting, which you're about to explain. Sorry, but it's not actually. It mirrors what's on the current screen out there. If you change the screen, then it changes what's on the TV.
Yeah, so when
it doesn't actually send the video over the casting, it just tells the receiver to go and bring up the URL.
That's right, so that the Chromecast will sort of take over and it'll just hook into the Wi-Fi. It knows where you are, what you want to do, and it just hooks onto the URL and does it itself.
Yeah, my brother's got one swears by it. He uses it with Plex and he uses it with YouTube and he uses it with everything. He loves it. Swears by it.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I've got the little, probably like the same little setup as you got at the moment. I've got the little Raspberry Pi with Kodi on it.
I love that thing. That thing's amazing.
Yeah, I got two. One for TV out in the lounge room, one for the one in the bedroom.
I just like anything that's customizable. I think that's why I'm stuck on Android over Apple. I just like the customizing, being able to customize. And you can do that with Kodi and those Raspberry Pis, customize them up and make them look good.
I like the customizing as well, but I've got an Apple phone because. Oh, look! My first dip into the smartphones years ago was the Samsung Galaxy 2, I think it was.
Really?
And it just didn't work. I was in the middle of Brisbane. I couldn't get no server. It just destroyed me from Samsung. And I thought, and then I went to Apple. And I thought, you know what? I don't care. I don't want to customize my damn phone. I just want it to work.
You just want it to work.
That's right. So
simplicity, get it to work. It always turns on when you want it.
That's right. And I'm still there. I've still got the 6S. Don't know what I'm going to do for the next phone, but hopefully this thing will.
But I haven't had an Apple since iPhone 3. So I probably am just as bad. I probably should. If I tried it out, probably find things have changed too. So
with the Apple, not much. Not much has changed.
I had the 6S and had all these people go, "Oh, you're an Apple fanboy drinking the Kool-Aid." I'm like, no, I had several HTCs which all crashed lots and stopped even turning on. I had a LG G3 which went into a reboot loop, and I found out much later after I got the 6S that it's because LG sends out crap batteries, and after a while the battery doesn't charge enough even when it says it's on full charge to keep the phone working, so it just keeps reboot. I said, I got the 6S, it just works, and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
See, my wife uses Apple, and she won't even consider even trying the grass on the other side of the fence at all.
Yeah.
She won't even look at it. So
I think with my
I don't know. I would love to see someone do a survey on that one day. See how many Apple users have actually had another device other than Apple. The ones that really say that how great Apple is, whether they've actually had. And the same vice versa. I'd like to see how many Android users have actually even used Apple, even though they bat for it pretty heavily.
I think there was a couple of years ago, I don't think it was Steve Jobs, I think it must have been Tim Cook. I'm not sure what iPhone version it was, but up in his on the stage for one of the releases, he brought up some stats and he just compared the activations for iOS against the activations for Android and how iOS was, activated so many millions and more times.
Cleaning up.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd still be the case because Android is simply everywhere. I was at a mate's place the other day. He bought one of these little Kodi things from Kodi boxes on eBay. The ones that they're trying to put the people in jail for, and it was it's just running on Android, and it's just everywhere. Android is just everywhere.
It is everywhere. They say worldwide that Android is actually probably more than Apple.
But I hear that
here in Australia, it'd be a pretty close match, I'd reckon.
I hear that the Apple Store in China is doing pretty good. I think it's already pushed about $17 billion worth of apps through. So
it wouldn't surprise me.
Apple must be doing something all right over there.
It's cool being on Apple.
Oh yeah, I feel it every day. Every time I pull it out of my pocket, I just feel it.
Nerd.
It's like, man, have you got an iPhone 10? That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, iPhone X. Like, you're the coolest.
You're not allowed to are you allowed to call it a 10?
But I did see a news report that they are the most breakable. So my sister has a music shop, I think, on the side that do phone repairs, and I said to her, "You wait till the iPhone 10 comes out, you're going to be busy."
Yeah, a music shop that does phone repairs on the side.
They're a music shop, but they've got like a little gadget guy that works in the side of the shop doing phones. Right down in Maryborough, it's a long way out.
And does that complement each other? Do you think? So you come in?
I don't know.
Come in.
It's very hard for retail, I think, either way. So if they can find angles to make money in other ways, well, good on them. But
so you go and get your phone screen repaired, and at the same time you buy a drum kit. Yeah,
exactly.
Win-win.
Get your guitar restrung or something.
They could teach you how to use GarageBand.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
They even had pokey. What do you call it? Not pokey machines, pool tables, and penny machines out the back at one point, and all the kids would come in and they'd check out a few instruments, or they'd sit there and play pool. And get their phone fixed while they're at it.
I thought I was going to ask a silly question. I misheard. I thought you said a pool machine. I'm thinking
pool table. I meant. I did say a pool machine. I meant
snooker.
Mixing pool tables and penny machines and pokey machines somehow together. I don't know how.
Yeah, pokies and pools. I don't know what's going on down there in South Dandenong.
We should get them to stock some of those icons where there was from last week.
Listen, I think Jason's got something. We'll finish off with this Amazon thing as well, if we ever can. But Jason, something. What are they? They got something on hold, something in the deep freeze or something. What's going on there?
Yeah, the day local retailers have been long dreading is finally upon us. But the launch of Amazon's full-scale retail assault on Australia is only one piece of the puzzle. Aussies can't sign up for the Amazon Prime Customer VIP program until next year, meaning for now deliveries still take days rather than hours. The online retail behemoth still remains tight-lipped as to when exactly its famed service will arrive in Australia and what it will deliver. Australians are clearly keen to get on board, with 43% of people intending to shop on Amazon in the near future, according to market research group Honeycomb Strategy. Almost half of Australians under the age of 40 already prefer to shop at Amazon rather than local retailers, and that's before you add Amazon Prime into the bargain. In America, a US $99 Amazon Prime annual subscription offers free 2-day shipping on millions of eligible products, helping secure custom loyalty in a cutthroat market. In some cities, Amazon Prime now even offers 2-hour express delivery on thousands of items. To further sweeten the deal for US Prime subscribers, Amazon throws in free access to its Prime Music, Prime Video, and Twitch Prime subscription services, along with some free books and magazines. In Australia, Amazon Prime is confirmed for mid-2018, but all that Amazon will reveal at this point is that it will offer exclusive delivery benefits. An Australian Prime subscription will definitely include Prime Video and Twitch Prime, with Amazon Music a likely addition if it is launched in Australia alongside the Echo Smart speakers early next year.
So,
wow. Isn't Disney releasing one next year too?
Smart speaker?
No, the online.
Oh, online shop?
No, videos and movies and
okay,
like a Netflix thing. Amazon does that too, you said, didn't you?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, well, Amazon's into everything, aren't they? So
yeah. Disney's going to bring out their own too.
I think Fox
and BBC.
Yeah, well, Fox is selling something off to Disney, I heard. I'm not sure what that is. I was just something I heard. But yeah, so the Amazon, it looks like
I've got high hopes for Amazon. I hope it works.
Yeah,
Fox was selling
for the retailer, but I hope it works for online.
The X-Men franchise and stuff like that are not owned yet by Disney. Fox is going to sell them so that they own all of them.
Yeah, okay, right. But yeah, look, so that's good. Like the Prime, look, what can't you get? How many devices do you have to have before you can get everything you want? And just get
buy all the things.
Everything.
Yeah, and then in a year's time, update them all again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Now the A-triples. Oh, what, Jordan? Have you got give us another one of yours, please, if you got one there.
Yeah, all right. What did I have?
Well, I'll tell you about
this Microsoft laptop. It's just loading here in front of me.
Well, that's all right. Well, I'll tell you about the ACCC Awards $6.5 million contract for broadband speeds monitoring program. So, so as if the ACCC will be recording broadband speeds across Australia, some 4,000 homes over the next 4 years. So it's going to cost $6.5 million. Yeah.
Is that the only thing they're going to record?
Well, who knows? Who knows what's going on? I suppose. Well, how do you record speed? You have to somehow intercept what's going through the pipe, don't you, to see how fast it's going down? The regulator awarded a UK-based company, Sam Knows, a $6.5 million deal to deliver its Measuring Broadband Australia program following an open tender. Now, look, I've got a little picture of something that's unrelated. Now, more than 8,000 households will sign up in the program. I don't know why that contradicted itself. And about 2,000 households will receive testing devices during the first year, with the results of the speed tests reported publicly in 2018. So, I don't know, there's a bit of contradiction in that story. It says they're going to be reported publicly next year. Then at the start, it said it's going to happen over the next 4 years. So maybe they're just going to start releasing the stats. I don't know. But moving on to there, I think, did someone have a HFC story? Was that Jace?
I kind of in a little bit to relation to what you were talking about. I was watching Question Time. Actually, I haven't watched it for a while. I was watching it last night, and I saw Malcolm Turnbull make a comment that obviously Labor were picking on him for his comment, trying to twist the words around as much as they could. And he said something about how he promised that everybody in Australia would have up to 25 megabits a second by 2017 or 18 or something. I can't remember. Don't take my exact.
Yeah, it was something like that. We should have had it by now.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and he said, even if you're on ADSL, you were going to get 25 megabits a second. I thought that can't be right.
Well, that's theoretically impossible. even.
So how can he guarantee that? We didn't say that everybody was going to have NBN by then. We just said that everybody would be on 25 up to 25 megabits by then, to 23 or whatever.
Well, 24, I think, is
and then he went ahead to label, the different types of connections with NBN and blah blah blah. And he said, and ADSL was one of them. And I thought,
he's got no
how
idea.
can you say that he's got no idea? You can't say that ADSL is 25 megabits a second.
No. Well, he's probably thinking
you're lucky to get one.
Yeah, well, one up anyway. But he's probably on the thought train of that it's the ADSL technology, which is the copper wire. So it's fiber to the node, and then it goes off on copper. So maybe that's.
I think they were just trying to say that he was wrong, because he promised everybody they were to have NBN by 2000, end of 2017.
Well, I know.
And he said no. We just promised the speed, not the connection.
Well, I think you can, in some areas and with some telcos, I think you can, like, if you get fibre to the node, then I think you can still pay a bit extra, like quite a bit, and they will run fibre from the node to your premise.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, the other week, and I think Jason said something about it spreading out too much off the one node or something, too many connections off one node if we did that or something.
Yeah, so that's right. So you got to check it out before you do it, because you don't want to spend a nice little $10,000 and
just to get an extension from the node when everyone else has done it.
Yeah, well, that's right. Did you have a HFC, Jace, or my? Yeah. What was that one about?
NBN Co's announcement last week that it would cease selling services on its hybrid fibre coaxial network, HFC, has revealed one of the biggest errors in judgment the company has made under a Turnbull Abbott-led government. The government-owned NBN Co claimed interference, which was leading to dropouts and unacceptable broadband service on a minority of users' services, for the decision, which will result in an average delay between 6 to 9 months for millions of households looking to sign up. But NBN Co first discovered that interference might become a problem down the track in mid-2016, when the first HFC asset transfers occurred between Telstra and NBN Co. At the time, NBN management made the risky judgment call that it would not be a huge issue. While it suspected that interference would cause some headaches in the rollout, NBN management didn't fully realise the extent to which Telstra's HFC network was in need of repair, or in the words of NBN Co engineers and management, optimisation. Regardless, NBN ploughed through activating premises and dealing with issues later until they became too large to ignore. NBN had originally envisioned doing network repairs once the network was in full operation and had been released for sale to service providers. To this point, the optimization work had been part of its post-activation servicing rather than part of the construction schedule. Of course, this isn't what ended up happening, and now optimization work, or repair, is having to be conducted in many areas before HFC services are released for sale. While NBN data showed that only 1% of end users were reporting faults via their service provider, alarm bells began to ring after an internal NBN co-commissioned customer satisfaction survey found up to 15% of users were scoring their HFC service close to 0 out of 10, meaning they were having the absolute worst time on HFC, but their provider wasn't necessarily reporting it as a fault to NBN Co.
That's great, isn't it?
But you had to look forward to, Glenn.
I know, I was all excited. I got my letter saying it was coming on the 28th of January, and now, look at it. It's not coming at all. But
better late than never.
Yeah, well, I'll wait. I don't want to sign up if it's going to be pus. So I'll wait for it.
It's like waiting for that package you ordered from China, isn't it?
Exactly.
He's already got the package. It's in his drawer over there. He just doesn't open them. It's a meme for this show. Glenn buys all these things and leaves them in the package and chucks it in the drawer, and then brings it out 6 months later.
Well,
I've got a few of those. I'm a bit like that too, I must admit.
Well, you think, at the time, you go, I'll have one of those, and then, by the time it comes, you moved on to something else.
Yeah, the little projects that go. I go through that every week. I've got little projects on the run of buying something.
Yeah.
Some
I'll tell
adapters
you what,
or something.
I'll
tell you what I did buy off eBay the other day. It was only $6.50, and because I got all excited about it. Remember the other week we were talking about those arcade games on the.
I thought you were going to say that icon that we were talking about.
For $6,
a bit more than $6.50.
Yeah.
If you got a $6.50 one, you might want to send it back.
The non-disposable $99. What was it called?
Icon. The Icon. Yeah.
We hope it's non-disposable for that price.
Well, but you got to give it a damn good wash, that's for sure, if it's not disposable.
Mind you, this is the next episode barred from YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, I've got another story about that too. Don't get me started. There was was I on about first? Hang on, tell me first story, but I forgot now.
What you buy for $6.50?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was inspired by the arcade games on archive.org. So I started playing. I think I downloaded or played Donkey Kong. The keys were really skewed. No, it was Moon Patrol. That's right. The keys were like jump was Alt and fire was something else. And they were all spread out.
So you went and bought the little square controller. I nearly bought one as well. Is that what you did?
The little USB like Sega-like controller.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, $6.50.
They're on eBay. I nearly bought one myself. I ended up using the 360 remote because I already had one for the kids, but I nearly bought one of those just to be more, sentimental.
Yes, yeah. Well, I went off to look for an Atari type joystick because that's what I really wanted. But
yeah, they've got those too on eBay. There's tons of them.
Yeah, they were about $60 to $80, and
really,
yeah. So I saw the $6 one, the little gamepad thing. I went, well, that's me. That'll do. And, I played Ladybug and everything. It was great. Now, I think, all those old games. And because when you start playing Ladybug, how I don't know if you ever know that game, but there's a sequence of things that you did. And if you got the sequence, which you could if you were good enough each game, you got a free game. And that was gold back then, you saved 20 cents. But these days, like when you play it on archive.org, you go, not going for the free game. Let's go for points.
Isn't that great to have that online? That's good, archive.org.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's good.
So you use the controller with the browser?
Well, I want to. I don't know if I've got the controller yet. Hopefully, it'll come tomorrow.
That'll be interesting to see if you can do that.
Well, it's USB, so I don't
be.
know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I'll let you know. And if it doesn't work, I've only lost $6.50. Now,
all that time I spent putting it together on the Raspberry Pi, I could have just sent the kids to the
archive.org. Well, I guess if it doesn't work, if I can't get it working on the browser, well, yeah, I'll do it on a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be good.
Retro Pi, I think it's called.
You know what you could also do? How come these episodes talking into old far geeks every week, aren't they? I was going to say.
I told you guys got to come on the show.
There's a place in Brisbane, I think, probably a bit too far away for you guys, but I'm sure they're everywhere. And it's arcade machine reconditioning and all this sort of stuff. And every now and then they'll have a bit of wooden hardware that they just don't want anymore, like a stand-up gamer box or a tabletop box, like box only, and you could go and get that box, put your little Raspberry Pi in, and
that's what they do now. They sell them on eBay already like that. There's people who like cabinet makers who make them and
right,
yeah, and sell them, and they got them in them.
Because you can also buy the original joystick and buttons.
The original ones are worth a fortune. Those games machines.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
My brother just had one given to him. Here they are worth a fortune. My mate paid about $2.5 for an original old antique one.
Yeah.
And then one that wasn't working that was there with it, and he gave it to my brother, and now he fixed it. And we've been sitting in the garage late at night. It's one of those sit-down ones.
Yep.
With the glass screen on top.
Yeah.
You sit there playing Pac-Man and all these things with the years. It's awesome.
Yeah. So my brother's got one as well. So your brother's got the multi-game one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's good value. But do you remember? Just quickly, because I've got these 4 stories to get through. But do you remember, like, when these tabletops, when they first came out, that were Space Invaders was on it, but the screens were still black and white. But then what they did was they put alfoil over the top. Cellophane. Yeah, not alfoil. Yeah, alfoil. That's why the game was so hard. But yeah,
it's all right. I'd call
I
that.
couldn't see anyone I was shooting at.
I'd call that gels in my industry, so I'd be just as confused.
Oh.
Yeah, so they put the cellophane over, like 3 colours, a blue, a yellow, and a red, or something like that. Yeah, and it made it a coloured game.
Should have just wrapped it over your glasses instead,
Yeah, so I got the alfoil and I gave it to Mark. So he uses it as a hat.
It's awesome, though, when you come across an old machine like that and everyone's standing around in awe of the old school technology, like, it's just grouse. Yeah,
it's good. All right, let's move on to who else has got. Oh, you had that Microsoft one. Did you find that one yet?
I did. All right. Yeah, I did. You had it up a second ago, I think.
Yes. What were you?
I'll try and skip through it a little bit so it doesn't take too long. Microsoft executive Terry, what's his name, Myerson, said his Windows 10 PC running on a Qualcomm chip works for about a week on one battery charge.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I've got to sort of expand this. It's a bit small for me to read. Myerson said the initial ARM-based Windows 10 machine should be fine for many office workers, students, parents, and travellers.
Yeah, well,
that's what really got me in the first sentence of that story is that they're putting it on a Qualcomm chip instead of the Intel, and they're getting a week out of it on one battery charge.
Yeah, but I guess, like, what are they doing, though, in that week? Are they... It's
just strange for them initially to step out from Intel.
Streaming YouTube 24/7.
No. I wouldn't.
General use.
Yeah, just general. Well, I know.
Microsoft has long been known as an Intel and AMD shop.
Yeah.
But on Tuesday, the company is taking the rare step of unveiling a laptop that's powered by another chip giant, Qualcomm. By selling Windows 10 PCs with Qualcomm, I can't even say it, processors, which dominate the smartphone market, Microsoft is aiming to reach a mobile audience that's been much more inclined to buy Apple and Android devices. At an event in Hawaii, Microsoft...
made by Huawei.
Sorry?
Just be happy it's not being made by Huawei.
Well,
it's even more difficult to say a lot.
Really? I used to really like Huawei.
That's what I mean. It's hard to say.
Huawei.
You get tongue twisted. You can't do it. Yeah, so that's good.
Huawei, yeah. Well, I loved their watch initially. I nearly bought that one before I bought my Samsung one.
Right.
Yes, so that's all right. So, so that these things are getting... It's good that they're becoming, like, say, the OS is becoming, say, smaller, more lightweight. So, you'll be able to... Well, you can now get Windows 10, I think, on a USB stick, can't you? Plug it into your TV, and up comes Windows 10.
Windows RT, the first Surface, the Windows RT was a flop, wasn't it?
Well,
that was on an ARM-based chip.
That's right.
Yeah, because you couldn't install anything on it.
No.
So it'd be interesting to see how the Qualcomm chip works.
Huawei. Yeah, it will be. Yes, that's right. All right. Jace, what else have you got?
If you think you can text behind the wheel without being caught, think again. New technology photographing drivers from above is soon to arrive. Queensland, Glenn.
Oh. Police
are considering camera technology capable of photographing drivers using their mobile phones behind the wheel to combat road crashes in the state. Assistant Commissioner Mike Keating said he was aware of the world-first red light-style camera, which has just been trialled in Victoria, and would consider taking it to the state government if it proved effective. We'll monitor that trial and see how it looks in terms of effectiveness, and if we see some benefit in it, then we'll certainly take it to the government in the future. It comes as police have issued a desperate plea to Queenslanders to follow road rules as they prepare to launch their Christmas road safety campaign tomorrow. Commissioner Ian Stewart declared that all he wanted for Christmas was for motorists to exercise caution on the roads after 40 people died during last year's campaign and over 2,000 were injured. I'm making appeal to every person who uses our roads. I would like for you to give your emergency services, police, fireys, Ambrose a Christmas present. That Christmas present is that we don't have to go out and deal with the trauma of one more road fatality or one more road crash this year. Not only it will
the Australian government's new childcare package starts July.
Member who has been affected by road trauma in the state.
Yeah, so that's right. Things are heating up, getting towards Christmas, and you've got to slow down. Got to just slow down.
I always wondered when they were going to be able to see the phone in the car while you're driving. You know, because by law, doesn't it have to be either in your glove box or on a stand, like mounted in the clip?
Yeah.
Well, I think they've even... I know they did. I don't know if it's still in vogue, but up here in Queensland, you weren't... Like, if a copper drove past or whatever and saw you just with it in your hand, like you might...
if it's not... They can get you even if it's not locked. Like, if it's not in a stand or not in the glove box, they can get you. That's...
So, like, even if it's just in your hand because you're... I don't know, you're holding it while you drive for some reason. It's no good. But, like, it's funny because in America, there's no such... rules about the mobile phones, and everyone is just texting and driving.
It's terrible.
It is. You go, well, because you know how hard it is, because like everyone's done it.
How it makes you wonder how they're going to get a camera to see in the car. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes,
they can do it.
Yeah,
if they can do it, why not?
Yeah, what else are they looking at? What else can they see?
Well, they've probably got cameras in the car anyway, haven't they?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Apple's got their Apple Play car thing or whatever it is. Maybe there's something mounted in that. Samsung will have one and they'll have a camera in theirs. And
Yeah, old Samsung.
don't they say the TVs in our lounge rooms are listening to us?
They used to.
Yep.
That's right. Well,
Samsung once did.
And the Google Homes, or the little ones, the Google Me's or whatever they call them.
Yeah, they were broadcasting everything to Google, weren't they?
Yeah, the button on top. Oh, that was only a select few, but still, it was still a thing.
Yeah.
Look, I got one here. The sad poo emoji is not going to come. It's not coming to fruition, not yet. So we all know
the sad poo emoji. Is that what you said?
Yep.
that's the one. Right. Yes, the sad poo.
Oh, he's sad, isn't he?
He's sad. So it was. Look, I'll read this as the story goes because there's a lot of puns in it. So the sad poo emoji gets flushed. Now, the symbol was floated as one of the many to be introduced in 2018, but it angered typographers who said it was embarrassing to the group. Oh, geez. Get a life. The Unicode Consortium pushes out a central list of emoji so that they show up properly on different devices. It said changes to the pile of poo emoji had not been totally dumped. While the Unicode Consortium curates the standard list of emoji, it is up to individual phone and app makers to design what they look like. I don't know. Do we have different poos than Android? I don't know. I've never really compared. But anyway, after being considered...
They always are different from Apple and Android.
It depends on if I have a lot of fibre in my diet or not.
Well, they changed the colour of the thumbs up, didn't they? You could choose...
I thought they all looked a bit alien for a while, the ones on Android.
Well, apparently they reckon that if they let the sad poo through, that if they let the sad poo pass through, then you would. They said it could start an avalanche of like happy poos and cranky poos and all the range of emotive poos. So also being considered as emojis for 2018 are people with red hair, curly hair, grey hair, and no
red
hair.
What's that? No hair.
The ranger emoji. And a
Rangamoji.
Are we allowed to say that? Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what they are. They're rangers.
Most of the time I say that to a ranger, they really don't care.
No one
happy
cares. No one cares. If they care...
I always call them my friends anyway.
Ask Pauline.
Yeah, she's a good ranger. She's a ranger from old way back. Now, and also other emojis are a badger, a llama, a peacock, and a lobster, a mango, a cupcake, and a bagel, an abacus, a microbe, and DNA. So we look forward to all these new emojis next year. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Now, what else have we got going there? Who got a story? Chase, have you got another one? Or then we'll get one off after that.
Facebook is causing concern for parents launching a new version of its popular messenger app aimed directly at under 13s. Facebook is coming for your kids. The social media giant is launching a messaging app for children to chat with their parents and with friends approved by their parents. The free app is aimed at kids under 13 who can't yet have their own accounts under Facebook rules, though they often do. Messenger Kids comes with a slew of controls for parents. The service won't let children add their own friends or delete messages. Only parents can do that. Kids don't get a separate Facebook or Messenger account. Rather, it's an extension of a parent's account.
That's awesome.
Messenger Kids came out on Monday in the US as an app for Apple devices, the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Versions for Android and Amazon's tablets are coming later. While children do use messaging and social media apps designed for teenagers and adults, those services aren't built for them. A children's psychology expert advised Facebook on designing the service. The risk of exposure to things that they are not developmentally prepared for is huge.
The Australian
Messenger Kids, meanwhile, is the result of seeing what kids like, which is images, emoji, and the like. Face filters and playful masks can be distracting for adults, but for kids, they're learning how to form relationships and stay in touch with parents digitally. There are ways to express themselves.
I reckon that is absolutely fantastic. That's going to give iMessage a run for its money for starters. There's a lot of kids on iMessage, and it's not filtered or protected. And the fact that the parents can actually specify that as an extension. They're almost approving it for their kid, aren't they?
And you can pick who they're allowed to talk to, which is great because you
can't
don't
just get some random perv getting on there and pretending to be a kid. It's actually the parent stating that this is my kid.
Yeah.
I reckon that's awesome.
I was talking to someone this morning, and they were talking about. Well, he was talking about how the Facebooks and all this they detract from human interaction, and along the lines of you might in the old days before Facebook, you would catch up with people that to say g'day, learn about their life and what they've been up to and everything. But these days, there's no point in catching up with people because you already know it, and so therefore you just sit in your house and drink beer and watch Facebook all day. So. Yeah. So it makes you think sometimes. That maybe you should. Should I limit my time on Facebook? And because I still got. I don't know about you guys.
Who drinks beer and looks at Facebook all day?
I still let my kids have Messenger and that, but they're still restricted to their time. But I don't know. I just think that gap. I haven't heard this story, and thanks for sharing it, Jace, because to me that's awesome. It's something I was only just talking about this with my sister-in-law with her kids, and we were talking about how we could get a messaging app for the kids that's cross-platform because they're all stuck on iMessenger, and we've got kids who are on Samsungs and Apples and all these different things, and we even thought about going as far as registering them Facebook accounts and not giving them the password and just restricting who can be their friend and who can't. Yeah. So I reckon it's great. It's gonna bridge the gap between. It's what Android, in my opinion, it's what Google has been trying to do for so long with their chat apps and everything. They've all been trying to compete with iMessage, really, haven't they? Because if you're on Samsung,
Google did bring out
chat to Apple.
No, but Google did bring out that video chat, and I keep forgetting the name of it, but I know Jace knows it. It's Dojo.
Allo or Duo.
Duo, that's it. Yeah.
Is that very popular? I've seen it. I've got it on my phone, but I never use it.
No.
I don't think so.
No. I just think that Messenger is the most popular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like across the board, but the kids can't use it because it's Facebook. So
or Apple,
that's right. I mean Messenger as in Facebook Messenger.
Oh, yes, right, yes.
I think that's the most popular chatting app that's cross-platform for everybody. But the kids can't use it because it's Facebook, and you've got to be you've got to either be over 13 or do it illegally and just say you're over 13.
Well, you
run the risk of being in such a big social environment for kids of that age who've got no experience.
Yeah, because I was watching. I looked at my.
I reckon that's awesome to have that as an extension of the parents' account. We don't even have to register them account. I'm going to look into it.
Yeah,
when's it coming out?
Well, look in the show notes. You get all these show notes and the links on the aussietechheads.com.au/podcast show notes page. So if you need to know anything further, go and have a look there.
I'll be looking for that.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. That's
a good find, Jace.
Well, that'll be our first hit for the week. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan, did you have anything else you want to talk about?
While you're on the Google topic, or Android, there was an app that has just come out of beta mode. You may have heard of it. Some people might have. Some. Where is it? Google Files Go, an app intended to clear out your phone clutter, is no longer in beta. The storage manager app, which Google calls a clean up app, offers suggestions on what files you should delete from your phone. That include telling you which apps you have gone unused or how many temporary files you have in your app cache and which files are taking up the most space.
Nice.
As you use it more and more, it'll fine-tune suggestions. Google says keeping with the theme. Where am I? Google says keeping with the theme, the download itself is less than 4 meg. There was one point, and we kind of briefly talked about it before with Jace, and I want to kind of breeze over to make it go a bit faster. There's also support for an offline file transfer with friends who are physically nearby and also have Files Go installed. The exchange does not eat into my mobile data. The file sharing transfer occurs over secured hotspot, according to Google.
Yeah, okay.
So that sounded really good as well.
Yes.
The company is making files go available as it's trying to improve the Android experience for phones with limited storage space.
Well, that's the go. Like, we all use, I don't know, you should be using on your PC something like C Cleaner or something. So if it's anything like that jumps in, gets rid of all your temporary files and old software updates and all this sort of garbage,
You
good.
Share files with each other nearby over Wi-Fi is pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Another good one. So things are happening with Android. Making me jealous now.
Yeah, they've got lots of little apps coming out all the time. On Tuesday, the company also announced a lightweight version of the operating system called Android Oreo Go Edition. You've probably heard about that as well.
Yeah, so what do you reckon they're going to do with that?
This software is tailored for phones with 512 meg or 1 gigabyte of RAM and includes optimizations to make installed apps run faster while running less memory. For instance, the Google app running on the Go Edition takes up 50% less space.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. Well, there you go. There you go. All right.
There you go.
Now, just going back quickly to Facebook, and we'll relate this to Google. We were just talking about it. Facebook and Google have been left out of the recent safe harbour copyright changes in Australia. Now, the federal government this week unveiled legislation that would extend copyright safe harbour provisions to a range of parties, but has left Facebook and Google off it. So apparently, Facebook and Google have been lobbying to get onto the safe harbour into that legislation. But the government said, yeah, but they said at the last minute, no, but we're still thinking about you guys, so just hold tight. Now, the copyright safe harbour provisions, what they are, is they prevent intermediaries from being held accountable for their users' actions. So currently, it only applies to internet service providers. I guess if you're on an internet, if you're say throwing porn down that's a terrible example. Let me think of something else. If you're doing something nasty or whatever on the internet, then Telstra's not responsible for what you're doing. But if you're not necessarily nasty. This story is actually about the Copyright Act. So if you're transmitting, movies or something, Telstra's not responsible. You're the one that's doing the wrong thing. But
so if you're uploading them, you're responsible.
That's right.
Downloading.
Yeah, and so what there's
responsible.
Yeah, so what they're saying with this Google Facebook Safe Harbor thing is that the recent fight that was streamed on Facebook, just someone put the phone in front of the Foxtel and just streamed it to Facebook Live. I think it was the Mundine fight in Adelaide. And, the guy got 150,000 viewers on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, went off.
And a big fine slapped on top of him.
No, he got into a lot of trouble, but he did get off. But I think we spoke about it at the time, but you mustn't have heard about it. The funny thing was, he's streaming it, right? Foxtel rings him up and says, "Can you stop that? You're not allowed to do that." And he goes, "Mate, I've got 150,000 people relying on me." He goes, "I'm not stopping it." So anyway, what Facebook say, to tie this up with the story, is Facebook have said, well, we don't want to be responsible for that guy. At the moment, Facebook could be responsible for that guy.
Well, they can't possibly judge what, if someone's going to pick up their phone and, they're allowing you to stream this live video thing. They've got to expect anything. Really,
but then this is why I guess YouTube, and everyone gets in trouble for say uploading or whatever something with a copyrighted music track in it, because they don't want to be responsible for what a user.
They're wiping their hands of it.
That's right. Yeah,
well, they can't possibly police everything.
So I guess in this situation, then say the rights holder would say they went Facebook and said that was our content, we're going to sue you because you were the means of carriage or whatever of this person being able to get this 150,000. So say Facebook go, yeah, okay, here's some money or whatever, and then maybe it's up to Facebook to go and sue this guy, But obviously, where's all the money coming from? So the right holders have long argued against having the safe harbour scheme extended to Facebook and Google. Now, the exclusion of Google and Facebook will be considered a win for rights holders who say they are forced to engage in expensive battles to have infringing content taken down in regions like the US and Europe where the safe harbour provisions exist. So I know, pretty heavy for one of the last stories of the week, but it was just something interesting, and
it just reminds me. I had a friend telling me that, and I haven't got an article to read or anything, but I just had a friend telling me that there's been heaps of people getting caught at the moment for a lot of that stuff. He's got a few. He's telling me he's got mates who have been, pulled up for downloading torrents and all sorts of things.
Right.
Everyone's getting in trouble left, right, and centre at the moment for all of this sort of stuff.
How are they?
Like
do you know how they're getting in trouble? Like, are they just getting letters, or?
No, I don't know. He said his mate got a $25,000 fine.
Well, he didn't pay it. He didn't pay it, did he?
No, his mate got it. I didn't ask him who his mate was or why or how. He's had a few mates that have been caught, and one in particular got a $25,000 fine. But it just goes to show they're really watching.
Yeah, I don't know if they can actually enforce anything, because there was that big Dallas cowboy film or whatever it was. I don't even know the name of it, but anyway, just recent, and they didn't enforce it. They just said, "Oh, well, stop it." But things are getting worse. Things are getting tighter. I think you find that
it was an article I read a while back where they were going to start sending out fines. I think someone was trying to bring in the idea of having it like a speeding fine.
Yeah,
used to be. If you're download, we'll send you a $500 fine because you're downloading something.
Yeah, there used to be like a 3 strikes you're out, but I think what they're trying to do, the Telstra's like blocked access to things like the Pirate Bay and Torrent Freak or whatever, so they're easy to get around. But talking about fast and slow internet, Australian internet users might have seen, especially over there in Perth, a bit slower of things of late, especially going to Asian countries. There's been a cable that's been severed over there from the journey from Perth to Singapore, and it has been cut again just 6 weeks after it had been repaired. The new cut was identified in the early hours of Sunday morning, and there's no estimate for when it may be repaired. It took about, I think, 60 days last time to get repaired.
What is this, sabotage or something, is it? Or?
Well, no, I don't think so. It says the traffic to and from Asia may be rerouted through the US, which will slow things down. But apart from being close to or at capacity, now the cable name is SEAMEWE3. So SEAMEWE3. No. Anyway, apparently suffers from frequent cable breakages due to storms or shipping traffic.
Okay. Well, you said it was cut, and I thought, maybe it had been cut.
Yeah, well, that's the language that had been used in this article. But I don't know whether it's been like, how does shipping traffic? It's supposed to lay on the bottom of the ocean. So how do they find that? It's 1,200 miles from Perth or something, out in the middle.
Yeah, it's probably owned by Telstra. It breaks down all the time.
Probably, but apparently they're putting a redundancy line in next year or something, so that'll be good. And look, we better hurry up. Jason, did you have any others this week you wanted to get off your chest?
Yeah, I can flick through a few related ones. The value of Bitcoin has skyrocketed over the past year, putting past price breaks to shame. A single Bitcoin is now worth more than $11,000, but the drive to accumulate Bitcoin has also driven energy consumption to mind-boggling levels. Mining Bitcoin now consumes more than 30 terawatt hours of power globally, which is higher than the individual energy usage of 159 countries.
Whoa.
According to Bitcoin analysis blog Digiconomist, energy consumed by Bitcoin mining now exceeds what is used by countries like Ireland, Hungary, Oman, and Lebanon. Bitcoin uses about as much power as the entire country of Morocco and slightly less than Bulgaria. If Bitcoin were a country, it would have the 61st highest energy consumption. However, this only covers miners. It does not include any power consumed by Bitcoin-enabled devices like vending machines and ATMs. Unlike a fiat currency like the US dollar or euro, Bitcoin needs to be mined. Of course, no one is digging digital currency out of the ground like gold. Mining Bitcoin is just a process of running complicated calculations on computers. These calculations keep the Bitcoin network operational by verifying transactions on the blockchain, which is a public ledger of Bitcoin activity. Bitcoins are awarded to the systems to complete these calculations, but the complexity of the calculation increases over time. It is a basic element of Bitcoin protocol, but it's resulted in vastly higher energy usage as people scramble to earn more of the cryptocurrencies. A few years ago, when a Bitcoin was worth several dollars, you could perform calculations on a laptop CPU and earn a few coins. However, now there are massive server farms with application-specific integrated circuit ASIC hardware, precision tuned to crunch numbers for the blockchain. The cost of this hardware is high, but so is the cost of keeping it running. That's why so many Bitcoining mine operations are based in countries with lower energy rates. A study from the University of Cambridge earlier this year estimated that 58% of Bitcoin mining took place in China. That means much of the energy fueling Bitcoins comes from dirty sources like coal. While it's possible mining hardware will become more efficient, the calculations for Bitcoin transactions will only become more complex. As long as Bitcoin value keeps increasing, so too will the amount of energy going up to verifying transactions. Meanwhile, other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Safecoin are on the rise. This means more CPUs and GPUs churning away in server rooms, even if Bitcoin drops in value.
That's just crazy, isn't it? Because I think that $11,000, that's a US figure. So it's something like 16,000. Like, I think we were only talking about this last week. It was, it was 10,000 or 9,000 or something.
I read 12, I thought.
Yeah, it's got a pop. It's got a pop. But just quickly on that, I also read this week that the Australia Stock Exchange is moving to a blockchain-style system for trade settlements. So, apparently the first in the world. I didn't have this one for tonight, but I've just brought it up. So I'll quickly just go through. So Australia's equity market, the ASX, has decided to replace its CHESS system to record changes in shareholding with distributed ledger technology found in blockchain. So blockchain uses computers with advanced encryption to keep track of transactions, giving confidence to both buyers and sellers. Transactions of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin are tracked to use blockchain, as you just said. Now, so the ASX was hit by hardware failure, which stopped trading for most of September 2016. Brokers couldn't get enough transaction in the market to close major trades for clients in the short window that all stocks were available. So they believe that this is going to be the way forward. ASX on blockchain. So there you go.
Bitcoin in Australia is currently at $21,250.
That's crazy. You can't see that that's going to keep going up. Like, that's got to pop. It's got to pop pretty soon. And
cool. Just a quick one to add to that.
Valve wants to get onto it now. They'll be too late.
It's way too late.
Yeah.
Valve is ending support for Steam purchases made with Bitcoin, the company said today, citing high fees and volatility of the value of the cryptocurrency. In the past few months, we've seen an increase in the volatility in the value of Bitcoin and a significant increase in the fees to process transactions on Bitcoin network, Valve said in a post on Steam. For example, transaction fees that are charged to the customer by the Bitcoin network have skyrocketed this year, topping out at close to $20 a transaction last week, compared to roughly 20 cents when they initially enabled Bitcoin. Unfortunately, Valve has no control over the amount of the fee. These fees result in unreasonably high costs for purchasing games when paying with Bitcoin. The high transaction fees cause even greater problems when the value of Bitcoin itself drops dramatically.
I don't know. Someone's got to be making money somewhere, don't they? So, I don't know. It's not me. How's your Ethereum? No. Is that still going up?
Yep. Let me have a look. Ethereum is currently at $621 and Litecoin at $137.79.
Didn't you buy yours or a bit of yours for $200 or whatever?
Yeah, the Ethereum, I got half an Ethereum when it was $250 and I got one Litecoin when it was $50.
That's all right. Do you look back and say, I should have probably got more? Or you're just happy?
You can never tell, can you?
Well, you can't. No, that's right. Like,
if you want to get in something, if you want to invest in cryptocurrency, try Litecoin or Ethereum. I am not an investment guide, so but there's no point in going for Bitcoin now. In America, people are selling their houses and investing in Bitcoin with that money, and then going to live in a rental or back at their parents or whatever.
It's a big gamble, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. These are the people that are going to end up with nothing when this whole thing just goes pop.
Crash.
Yeah, it's just going to pop. All right, I think that might do us for this week. I think, is that all, everyone?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, I've got one I've saved for next week.
All right, good stuff. Well, we can put it in the show notes, and if you're interested in Jordan's last story, you can go and check them out in the show notes. I will, so there'll be 2 hits this week. All right. Tune in for the Aussie Mac Zone. I think next week for the Aussie Mac Zone, their last show until next year sometime. Breaking up for Christmas, aren't they lucky? little things.
Yeah.
Lucky break.
Yeah, that's all right. And don't forget, you can get us all over the place. The website is aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. You can get us on the Twitter at AussieTechHeads. You can twit me at Glenn Goodman and use a hashtag if you like, AusTechHeads, AUS Techheads. Every now and then I'll have a look and see what's going on. You can get in contact with us, Jordan, Glenn, or Warlock or Jason at aussietechheads.com.au, and the internets will make sure that those emails find their way to the right person. All right, that's about.
And can I just say, please get on the website and leave us a question or something, so we've got some more topics to talk about. We want listeners to do one of those audio voiceover things and send it in.
Yeah, you can jump on the website, which is the aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, right down the bottom or to the right-hand side. I think it might slide out from. I can't remember now. But yeah, you don't need nothing. As long as you've got to say a webcam, you click a button, it starts recording. And it shoots it as an email to me. And then, we'll get you on the show and we'll answer your question if it's a question.
And if you don't want to do it with audio, send an email. Yeah.
We're not really sure it was a valid one that got sent that said Glenn is awesome over and over again. We're not sure who might have recorded that, but
no,
we got our suspicions.
But anyway, that was one of the best ones we've ever had. So you can send us compliments.
Familiar.
You can send us compliments. We'll play them. Send us criticism. We'll bag them. So do what you have to
questions would be good though. I'd like to answer a few tech questions. See if we've got the goods to answer some questions. I reckon that'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, send us a tech question. Jump on the site. Only take you 2 seconds. So jump on the website and send us a question. All right. That's it. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for coming in again. Good to have you back.
No worries.
And thanks, Jace. Always good to have you.
Glad to be here. See you again next week.
Yeah, and keep developing for the Fitbit. Looks good.
I will.
Good.
Yeah. Download my stuff. Pay me money.
Yeah. Where do you get it again?
Sorry?
Where do you get it?
Where do you get Fitbit? I got mine at Hardly Normal, would you believe? No matter how I hate that place.
Your screen. Where do you get it? The Fitbit app, iconic apps shop.
You have to log into the Fitbit app on your phone and then go into the app gallery.
There you go. And you'll see. And what's it called again?
Big Weather.
Big Weather. All right, go and jump on that.
If you haven't got a Fitbit, don't worry. Just get the app and get it anyway.
That's right. Download the app anyway. Try and
just send me the money anyway.
I've got a Fitbit.
Put a donation page on my.
I've got a Fitbit. See, I don't know how it's going to fit on that screen.
Is that a Flex?
HR or something.
HR. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. All right, let's get out of here. So thanks everyone. Thanks for downloading or watching, whether you're on the YouTube or iTunes or wherever it is. I hope you have a good week. We're smashing those poms, aren't we? That's great stuff. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.